Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Cast. Today I am going to be unboxing and looking over the Funko Pop version of Bob Ross. For those of you who don't know Bob Ross, you really need to go onto the internet, go onto Netflix or whoever has his TV show, and just watch The Joy of Painting and do some research on Bob Ross. Overall, Bob Ross was just a neat and fun guy. He had this show, The Joy of Painting, where he instructed people how to paint and do different paintings, and it was just honestly really amazing what he would do with just a few instruments and some paint and a canvas. So let me just get going here and show you the box. So you got his name there on the side and his little head there peeking up. You have one of what looks like one of his paintings there on the landscape, and him holding the painter's palette. The full Bob Ross in his standard outfit. So yes, I will mention his main physical attribute in just a second here, but let me unbox it now. And out he slides. Come on, Bob. You don't want to come out. There we go. There we go. There we go. And here's little Bob Ross. Little Bob Ross here. Bob Ross had this huge afro that he grew, and he was actually, I did some research, and he actually was told by PBS that they wanted him to keep the afro, not to change it, and that he really didn't like it that much. I think after he was done with the PBS, he got rid of it. But he has a little translucent painter's palette here with some colors on there. Probably his burnt umber and raw sienna and all those regular colors that he would always have, and his little paintbrush here. One thing that Bob Ross would do, if you watch his show, that I thought was always amazing. The detail in his the jeans there with the pockets, that's very nice. And his belt there, the seams of his pants there. But one thing the main thing that was amazing, I thought, was that he would take a large, maybe 3 or 4 inch painter's brush that you would use probably to paint a wall, and he would take first he would take the painter's brush, for instance, and he would put some really dark brown color, very dark brown paint on the brush, and just run it down the canvas a few times, and you would see these just dark lines. And then he would take a painter's knife, which is basically just a piece of metal, a thin piece of metal, put some white, put some white paint on it, and he would very lightly go down one side of those dark lines, and all of a sudden you would have a tree with sunlight reflecting off the sunlight shining off the bark, and it would look so much like a real tree. It was just, honestly, it was amazing, and I really don't gush over things like that a lot, but Bob Ross really was a really amazing artist. He some facts about him that I read. He was in the Air Force. He attained the rank of Master Sergeant. He was in there from 1961 to 1981. He really didn't. He said in one of the few rare interviews that he gave, he would he said he really didn't like yelling a lot. So that's one of the reasons why one of the things he disliked about his service. But he did serve for 20 years in the Air Force, and thanks for that, Bob. One of the things that I found about some Funko Pops is that their footprint, their literal footprint, is pretty. Some of them can be very small, and because they're so top heavy, they can fall over pretty easily. But even though his feet here are pretty small, he seems to be standing up pretty well, considering how big the afro was making his head look. I've seen other variations on this, but I like this one the best with the painter's palette. There's one with him and a raccoon. A raccoon is added to it, and there's another one of Bob holding a finished painting in front of him. But I like this one the best. I really wasn't sure what the deal is with the raccoon. I have never seen him on TV with raccoons. I know that he had squirrels for pets. You can see the details there of the pants and the shirt. Very, very nice. And even his little loafers there, his shoes. I love the little hand there holding with the little thumb holding the painter's palette. Is kind of funny. A little painter's brush. I like the way that they're having him hold the painter's brush there. Very nice details. But again, if you haven't seen the Bob Ross Joy of Painting show, I would really recommend that you do that. He had a very relaxing voice when he would paint his happy little bushes and his happy little trees. And he would put a splash of color onto the mountains. And he talked very much like this. Very soothing. Had a very, very deep, very soothing voice. And sometimes whenever he would clean one of his paintbrushes, he would dip it into the paint thinner and slap it against the bottom of the easel. And he'd go, "Oh no, I just splashed my cameraman over there." It was kind of funny to watch, and it was just a fun show. One of those shows that you just turn on and just to watch what he did. Watch him take a white canvas and just a half hour later make an amazing landscape from it. Everything from mountains, snow-covered mountains to forests, you name it, he would make the landscape. Well, there you have it. That's the Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting Funko Pop with the paint palette. Thanks for watching this episode of The Kaz. Please like and subscribe to this channel and the video, and come back again to see other unboxings and general pop culture discussions. And thanks for watching. Bye.